Do you think you need a $300 or even to need to be a 3,000 years retouching master to master retouching? Then I'll prove you wrong, because in this video, I'll be showing you my step-by-step favorite guide on how you can go from a beginner level to a master level pro retoucher. Now, you take your pictures, your flat-looking pictures, and turn them into something awesome. If that's what you want, watch this video to the end. Now, the first thing we'll be doing right here on this video is we need to analyze our subject very well. This is the picture I'll be using for our retouching. And if you look at this picture, you will see there are some blemishes on the subject skin. So the first thing we want to do is we want to remove all these blemishes. Now, first thing first, when you are doing your before you start your retouching, I always recommend you duplicate your layer. It is very important to duplicate your layer. I already have mine duplicated here, so I don't need to do that all over again. So when you have your layer duplicated, the next thing you want to do is to remove your blemishes here. Now, my favorite tool when it comes to removing blemishes is clone stamp. It is my favorite tool. You can also use your healing brush tool, your spot healing tool, your patch tool. They're all good. Now, I prefer using my patch tool or my clone stamp, but for this video, I'll be using both the patch tool and the clone stamp. Now, you zoom in on your image very well. Now, you remove the patch, the blemishes. Now, how do you use your patch tool? You just need to circle one of the blemish, then you drag it over to a very good spot. Same thing here, drag, same thing, and drag. Now, you ensure you do it gently. Now, you do it and drag. You do it and drag. Just simple way. Now, I'll be pausing this video so that I can focus on removing those blemishes. Now, I have removed most of the blemishes now. So let's see our before and our after. Let's zoom in our before and after. Before and after. Now, if you take a look at this very closely, you see most of the blemishes are already gone. They are already gone. So the next thing we want to do now, before and after. Now, the next thing we want to do now is to remove our stray hairs. Now, if you see, there are some stray hairs on our face. And also right here, there are some stray hairs there. So that's where we're using our clone stamp to remove all that. So you sample from a spot here, then just do it gently on it. Gently. Okay, we've removed all our stray hairs now, and this is looking almost very good. Now, the next thing we want to do is to use a frequency separation technique to retouch this picture. Now, and how do we do that? Now, the first thing you do is duplicate a layer one more time, and let's duplicate again. Then we'll call this our low, and we'll call this our high. Now, this low, you can also consider it to be your color, or you consider this side to be your texture. Now, what this frequency separation technique does, it separates your color from your texture. So you'll be able to work on your color separately and also your texture separately. Now, after doing all this now, the next thing we want to do is to cover the eye, come to the filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Now, here's a quick tip for you. When you're doing your retouching, the higher the radius, the higher the texture that will be retained in your picture or in your subject. And if you have lower radius, it means your skin, the skin of your subject will be smoother. So that depends on how you want your picture to look afterward. But for this picture, I'll be giving it at maybe putting it at 10. Oh, let's put it at 12. Okay. Now you open your eye, then you select your eye, make sure your eye is selected. Come to image, apply image. Now you ensure your layer is in low or your color. Your blending option, subtract. Then your scale is at 2 and your offset is at 128. Then click on OK. Click on OK. Then you change your blending option from normal to linear light. That's basically all you need to do. Now, my favorite way when it comes to retouching, I like having a separate layer, which I call my correcting layer. Now, this helped me to. Now, the purpose of this correcting layer is so that I can work directly on this correcting layer and erase some parts of, especially if there's a mistake somewhere or I need to make an adjustment to certain parts I retouched before. This correcting layer will help me to erase and go back to make whatever correction I need at any point in time. So now the next thing now I want to do is to cover the eye, which is our texture. Now you see the face, it's a little blurry. That's because we don't have texture on this subject anymore. Now we'll select our correcting layer and we'll come to our mixer brush tool. Now, for my favorite setting, I like ensuring my width to be 20, load 30, mix 30, and my flow should be 70. Now you can have your own different settings, whatever works for you. Now, all I want to do is now, the first thing I would like to always tell you is when doing your retouching, never blend your highlights to your shadows. And never blend your shadows to your highlights. And one more thing, always ensure you are following the shape of your subject's face. Just don't brush and be like this. That is a bad way of retouching. Always ensure you are following the shape of the face whenever you're doing your retouching. So I want to take our brush slightly and ensure you reduce and increase your brush size where necessary. So we reduce our brush and we start retouching. Now the purpose is to ensure it looks polished, not look plastic. Okay. Now, you follow the shape of the face just right there. Now, you notice something here. This side. I made mention of never brush your shadows to your highlights and your highlights to your shadows. So always take note of that. Now we'll touch perfectly well. Perfectly well. Okay, ensure you're following the shape of the face as required. So let's see our before. Let's look at our before and our after. This is the before and this is the after. Before and after. So let me pause this video, then we'll touch the other parts of the skin. Now, let's look at the before and after one more time. The before and the after. Before and after. So let's take our time to brush just parts that was not well retouched. Okay, ensure you're following the face very well. That's one thing you should always ensure you. So the number one mistake most retouchers do when it comes to their retouching is they blow it out too much or too little that the skin appears too smooth. Always ensure you are leaving out some textures on your picture. Very important. Very, very important. Now let's look at our picture right here. You see it's already looking way gorgeous, like really, really nice. Now the next thing we like to do, okay, let me group this. The next thing you want to do now is to have a little bit of eye enhancement. Let's enhance this eye. That's where most of the attention is. So let's give it a little bit of pop up. Let's pop past the eye. And how do we do that? We'll come to our adjustments tab here. Adjustment tab. Click on our curves. Let's take this curve up a little bit. Now, to Ctrl I, let's invert that. Now, select our brush tool. Always ensure your foreground is white and your background is black. So we brush over the eye little by little. Well, let's bring out the eye a little bit more. Now do the same for the other side. Now let's see how it is before and after. You see the eye is really popping out. Let's do it one more. I think I like to increase this thing a little bit more. And let's show. Yeah. Okay. This is looking way, way, way nice already. Now, there's also one more thing I like to do. I like to give this eye a little more attention. And by doing that, so let's give this eye a little bit of sharpness and glow. So first, let's convert this into a smart object. Convert this into a smart object. And we'll come here, under our filter, come to sharpen, and click on sharpen. Then we'll come here, we invert this, and only apply it on the eye. Let's apply it only on the eyes. Apply it only on the eyes. Now, see, it's looking really, really nice right now. Let's see the before and the after. Now, there's also one trick when it comes to retouching your picture. Now, the eyebrows is one place you should always pay attention to. So let's select our curves adjustment layer again. But this time, instead of taking it way up, we'll be taking it a little bit down. A little bit down. I think it's way much better this way. And we got this. Then we invert as usual. Select our brush tool one more time. Always ensure your foreground is white and your background is black. Now, if you like to erase your brush, now you change the foreground to black and your background to white. So with our foreground selected, now we'll paint over this a little bit. Paint over the eyebrow. Paint over the eyebrow. And also maybe some bits of this place. Paint over the eyebrow. Paint over the eyebrow. Okay, it's looking way better. But the next thing we want to do is you double click on this layer here to open the blending option panel. They want to blend it with the underlying layer. So take this layer, slide it a little bit to the left. Edit this one to give it a more natural tone. So we'll give it like that. And okay. Now right here, let's increase our feather to a little bit more. Now let's see our before and our after. Let's zoom in on our picture before and after. Now that thing is not looking too good, so we'll take our brush one more time. We'll change the foreground color to black and the background to white. And a shortcut to do that is use your X. Just type your X, it will change automatically. So let's erase some parts we don't want on this place. Just erase the parts we don't want. Just erase the parts we don't want. Now erase to give it a more awesome look. Now let's check how it says right now. See the before, see the after. Now it makes the eyebrow of your subject pop instead of making it look bland and scanty. And okay, the next thing we want to do right now is with our eye enhancement in place, our eyebrow sharpening and everything. Now one more thing we would like to do right here is to use our dodge and burn method to contour our image. Give it an highlight, shadows to make it pop out a little bit more. Now first, let's take all these pictures here. I like to group them, then convert everything to smart objects. Now, how do we do our dodge and burn? Now, the first, we're using our curves adjustment layer to do just that. Now, you select your curves. Now, for the burn, we'll take this slider a little bit down because shouldn't be too much. A little bit down. Now, we invert. I'll call it our burn. Now, we'll do the same thing. Come here again. And this time, we'll take it way up. Now, we invert. I'll call it our dodge. And let's group them and call it dodge and burn. Call it dodge and burn. Now, with the dodge and burn, we first click on this brush. Make sure your foreground is white. Now, my favorite way to do your dodge and burn is to look at the shape of your face and see where your highlights already are and where your shadows already are. For me, I like to draw an highlight of where I want my shadows to be and where I want my highlights to be. So let's perform a dodge and burn technique. Now, yes, I want you to see your dodge and burn. I want you to see it as a digital makeup on your subject skin. See it as digital makeup. So with this now, what we want to do now is using your brush to select your dodge, and I like it to highlight the certain parts of the subject skin that you like to add an highlight. Just do it gently like this. Then I like also to be at the nose region. I want it to be at the nose region. Yeah, possibly maybe somewhere here. You can see some highlights on that area of the skin too. Now, somewhere like that. Then I also like it to be here. See, the highlight is already here. So let me just cut the highlights here. Okay, one more thing. I like to add the highlights. Yeah. Do the same thing on the other side of the face. Do the same thing at the other side of the face. Now, for our bone now, we also follow the same process. For this time, we add it at the darkest region of the subject's skin, which is the shadows. I also prefer adding it also to the eyebrows, also give it a little bit of extra touch. Now, we'll do this here and here. For the highlight, I like putting it on the chin. Just add that stuff there on the chin. Okay. Then, also like and prefer to add some of these highlights on the subject's hand, just to give it that glow look, glow effect look. Now, with our picture already like this, the next thing we want to do now is to click on it. Just click on it. Open your properties tab. Then we adjust our slider gently to the point where we are okay with how the picture is looking. To me, I think I prefer it looking this way already. It's already looking nice. Now do the same thing for the bones. Adjust it a little bit till almost everything disappears. Almost everything disappears. Now I think I like to add a little bit of bone here, just to make some parts of it pop out. I like adding the bone just underneath the eyes. Just add a little bit of bone underneath the eyes here. A little bit of, let's extend it. I think let's give it a little bit of glow there. So let's adjust the feather a little bit more. And let's say our before and our after. You see how much affects this look. But our highlight seems to be too much, which is our dodge. So let's reduce the opacity just a little bit. Now let's see the before and after of how our picture is looking right now. Before and after. Before and after. Now let's reduce the overall opacity of our dodge and bone. Now this is looking extremely good already. Now there's one more thing we want to do, which is more like the final touch of our entire picture, and which is color grading. We already have our subjects looking extremely nice with a very flawless skin. The next thing we want to do is to color grade this picture. Color grade this picture to pop out some of our pictures, some of the colors and some of the colors out and the lights. So how do we do that now? We come here, let's convert this to smart object. No, it's not looking good. So let's do Ctrl J. Okay, let's just merge that layout together, merge that group together. Okay, so let's merge it together with this now. And we are good. We are good. Now let's come here. We'll be using our camera raw filter, which is an inbuilt, not really an inbuilt, a Photoshop plugin for color grading. So click on camera raw. Okay, let's go back again. Go to your filter. Click on camera raw filter. You can see it right here. Let's click on it. Now this is where most of the entire magic happen. Now for me, I like taking this highlight a little bit down, increase my shadows. Okay, I like this I like the lights. Okay, let's come to the color there. I like increasing the vibrance a little bit. Let's give it a more, you know. Okay. Let's make sure the color is popping out a little bit. Let's come to this filter, our effects, this thing, and increase the haze a little bit, just a little bit. Now let's come back to the light and increase our shadows, increase our highlights. Now let's see how well this is looking now. See the before and see the after. See the before and after. Now let's click on OK. Let's click on OK. Now you can see our subject is looking really, really nice. See the skin is looking extremely good. Now from here to here, we have this there. So that's a step-by-step bit on how to retouch and master and retouch any picture. See the before one more time and see the after. So please, if you find this really helpful, I'll love if you could hit the smash button, the like button, and also subscribe, as videos like this will be dropping almost every week. Thank you.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.